There we go. Okay, now we got to start my tablet and get this going. So, how is everybody? I've been so busy, crazy busy, like lots of doctor's appointments and craziness. Let's see, view channel. There I am. Sweet. Okay, let's turn this down. All right, so let me see here. Okay, that looks good. All right. Well, hello, everybody. How are ya? Yeah, I'm going to do some sewing while we chat. I got my tablet set up so I can see a chat. I see Dave. Hey, Dave. How's it going, man? Merry Christmas. Okay, so I'm going to do some sewing. I hope that doesn't drive you guys crazy, but Christmas is coming and I'm way behind. It was so foggy and yucky here. Millions of doctor's appointments, heart doctor, all kinds of stuff going on. Huh. Can't get this open. There we go. All right, let me see. Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Sorry I have to be doing something. I really wanted to just sit and chat, but I just got to finish stuff. Yeah, so I was thinking about, I was going to give one of these away, right? I'm building another one, but I was thinking about, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it on video and let everybody watch me build it. And then when I get done with it, I will give it away. It might take several days to do that. Oh, all right, so let me count this out here. 1. Whoops, I don't mean to hit the mic. 2, 3, 4. I need about like 5. I'm going to go just a little more. There we go. Almost 6. I want to have a little extra and not run out of thread. When I run out of thread, it's even no fun, right? You'd think an old dude that's all shaky can't do this part, right? Yeah, this is hard. I'll look at chat in just a second. Let me get all set up and going here, and then I'm gonna... I did get your virtual Christmas card. I haven't had time to like reply or do all that stuff. I've been really, really busy. I'm making things for my grandkids and a couple of great grandkids. And then it got so foggy here. I mean, it was like so foggy and cold. I couldn't sit out here for very long. But today it's 65, beautiful. I'm wearing a t-shirt. Everything's good. Come on. Doesn't want to play ball today. There we go. All right. Okay, let me start down here on the bottom. I'm gonna start one hole up and then go backwards, so I double stitch one hole. Even up my needles. All right, here we go. I'm gonna move this tablet real quick. I just want to get my first stitch going here. Wow, it's tight. Oh, good. I was afraid to let it drop. It might hit the ground, but looks like I'm all right. Getting started's the hard part. Once I get started, I can just move right along. Oh, wait, it is. I was doing it right. Okay. I'm not paying attention very well, am I? There we go. Yeah. All right, my first stitch. There we go. Okay, let me move this to where I can see it. Okay. Cool, I will. I haven't been doing too many, BZ. I haven't been doing too many. Been busy. It's been like doctor visit after doctor visit for me, and then doctor visit after doctor visit for my wife. Like one doctor visit after another. I'm incorporating quite a few things that you've given me over the years, Mr. BZ. I've been seeing your shows. You're freaking knocking it out of the park, dude. Like I can't believe that you guys made it to 700. Times that by 10, and that's about how many are really watching you. Yeah. Any new Squatch stories? There is a couple from this last deer season, but mostly what I want to talk about is some things that BZ talks about. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. Maybe I should set the microphone down. I want to talk about what's going on. You know, everybody's calling for arrests, right? Everybody's calling for arrests. Merry Christmas in Ireland. Hey, buddy. So everybody's calling for arrests. Like they want to see arrests. Well, y'all, when Trump started out, what was the first thing that we saw that we thought was, it was something that never happened before, right? It was called Doge. So Doge, they had to identify all the fraud. And I'm sure at the same time, they identified all the perps that was doing the fraud, people benefiting from the fraud, where the money was going, all that. And now we're actually seeing these guys bringing lawsuits against the fraud. And we're actually hearing about some Congress people, you know, maybe some past presidents that are perps, bad guys. So we are seeing stuff. But if you're going to do it legally, like, you just don't come in. Like, I think if they came in and they didn't identify everything and then share with the people, I think there would have been more pushback for, you know, the arrest. If they just started arresting people, I think they would have had a lot of pushback. See, now here comes the Epstein files. They're busting loose, right? Not all of them, but some of them enough for people to start. Like, there's some people that they think they don't have a clue. You know, we're different. We've been talking about this for 10 years, right? Sharing stuff about Obama and all that. these guys don't have a clue, so they're just now starting to wake up. These are pictures we've seen 7 years ago or longer, and then all of a sudden, you know, they release this stuff. They have to do it little bit by little bit, but once the people start catching on, watch it flood. Watch the information flood, and they'll just freaking go for it, right? These dudes are going to go for it. Thank you, Paula. Yeah, the Doge bags. There is some Doge bags. But, like, don't you think Doge had something to do with Minnesota, right? Don't you think they did? I think they did. I think they identified all that. Do you think they maybe identified a bunch more fraud, like in California, always spelled with a K? I guess California, always spelled with a K. I can't wait. I can't wait until they perp walk Governor Newsom. You know, I know that's coming. Hopefully, I would hope that people in this state are starting to figure it out, and maybe, just maybe, if we can get the illegals out of here, we could have a real true vote. I don't think our votes counted in freaking forever. Yeah. Yeah, I have like this. I go up this side right here, and then around, down, and across, and I'll be done, and I'll be doing some edges. Yeah. And then remember my dream that I had of the comet, and back in April of 24, when the Devil comet came through, I thought that dream was for that, but I am wrong. It was for this one that just came by. This one that just came by brought some evil to the world, because the evil's about to be doged. They're about to take them out, and of course the leader of the evil knows this, so it had to send in reinforcements. So we're gonna see quite the battle here. I'm kind of wondering, like, some of the stuff that Trump and Dan Scavino's talking about is everybody's going to have a Merry Christmas, right? So I've been thinking about that. Everybody's going to have a Merry Christmas. What could a Merry Christmas be? Have you noticed silver? Have you noticed silver? Silver's going up. I think it got past our vote. Our votes won't count for 3 years at least. I don't know. I think that by this 26, I think our vote's going to start to count. So I think they're going to start deporting people like crazy, and they have to start somewhere. So they started by identifying the fraud, and then that leads them to then legal challenge. They're gonna start indicting people, and you know, it's a process. And any law, you have to gather, you know who they are, but you have to get evidence, and you have to gather it up, and then you have to present it in a way that where you win. You know, I think I'm right. In fact, this silver thing, back in the day, a long time ago, you guys, when me and Jeff were still doing the videos, we have a guy, I don't know if Jeff still does, but I still have contact. It hasn't been as much because the guy is so busy now, but a lot of stuff he told me 12 years ago, 14 years ago, You know, a lot of it has come true. And one of the things was silver. And I've been telling everybody for a long time, BZ can attest to this. I've been telling people for years, start investing in silver, and why, right? I've told everybody why. Well, here we go. Silver is now freaking going into orbit. This little bump at 70, see what happens is the banks say they own all kinds of silver, but they don't. It's all on paper. Well, when the silver reaches $70, which I think it already did, all of a sudden that changes the rules. There's a rule. I can't remember what the name of it is now. It's been a while. But now they have to account for their silver, and they don't have any. So they're about to lose $800 billion. Watch the banks fall. I'm thinking that the Christmas present that we're all going to hear about on Christmas Day, it's going to be a great Christmas, is the bankers are going to lose. And we're going to lose this economy. We're going to lose the evil bankers that's been keeping us in debt, slave to the dollar, the almighty dollar. And I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, I was told that's what would happen a long time ago. And I got excited a few years ago because for the longest time, maybe a decade, I heard and was told all these things, but I didn't see anything. Just like about how everybody is right now. Where's the arrest? You know, they don't see nothing happening. Well, I'll tell you what, 10 years ago, there was a lot less happening than now. In fact, when Trump was elected the first time, I got pretty excited. I thought it was going to happen. I was really let down when it didn't happen. I was totally disillusioned about that time because that's what I was told would happen. And then when Biden went into office, that almost devastated me. Like, what? You know, like the bad guys figured out how to cheat and keep everything from happening. Well, second term for Trump is a whole different story. Now, all this stuff I read about and talked with these guys about 12 years ago, or maybe longer, it's starting to happen now. In fact, January started the whole show, and I seen it starting to happen, but nobody else did. But I knew the whole plan already. I had been privy to information for a long time. And then finally, here we are. Now we're really seeing it. It's not going fast enough for me, really, but I'll take the win as we're going along. I think the one that really has me excited right now is the DOJ going after Washington, D.C. on AR-15s, saying that the only thing I don't like about it is they're saying that the AR-15s, they can't keep people. It's unconstitutional to keep people from registering their AR-15 and other weapons, right? Well, it's unconstitutional to register because when they originally made that a right, there was no registration because we were afraid the government would take our guns, right? Which they've kind of been trying to do by making them illegal, making it where you can't carry. My state's probably the worst of the worst on that. Newsom's just tearing up the Second Amendment. And you know, you can't have a Second Amendment if you don't have a First Amendment, because the Second Amendment guarantees you get to keep your First Amendment, right? Got to have a gun, got to be able to keep the government in check. So they knew what they were doing. Get rid of the Second Amendment, and then they can attack the First Amendment. And if you don't think I'm right about that, look at Australia and all the other countries where they took the guns away. Now they are arresting people for, like, what, that one British guy came over here on a vacation and he showed a picture of himself shooting a gun. And he got back over there and they arrested him. Like crazy. Crazy. Whoops. Gotta keep it straight. You gotta do the same thing in every stitch. You have to have the threads on the side that you're putting the needles through. You have to keep it the same. Like I'm pulling the thread this way towards me. If I forget and I pull it the other way, then my stitch gets crooked. So I'm trying to pay attention here. Let's see. Yeah, $71, ABZ. It's freaking going for it. But that means the banks are going to crash, and that means stock market might crash. Something I've been talking about for a long time. I hope people were seeing the signs and starting to move some of their money around. At least put a good share of it in silver when it was really cheap. I know I'm one to talk. I didn't buy any silver, but it's kind of hard to buy anything except food and pay your bills when you have so many people that you take care of. It's expensive. Hopefully 2026 is going to be the difference in that too, and I'm pretty sure of that is going to change. But it's too late for me to buy silver, but I'm not worried about it, because I have something a lot of people don't have, and that's faith in God. He has me, and if he wants me to have it and have the money to spend on it, I'll have it. Or he can just flat out give it to me. Which he's been known to do over the years. Make sure I have everything I need. All the bills are paid, everybody's fed, and I'm doing right. I'm doing right by God, because really, this life isn't about having everything, having all your money and having all your creature comforts. I mean, it's so short-lived, you know what I mean? So for 20 years, you're happy, fat and happy, and no problems. Then your health starts going bad, and then pretty soon you pass on, you go to the other side, and all that stuff you had, he would have gave you 100-fold more if you had to sacrifice it in this life. So everything you sacrifice in this life, as long as it's not stupid and you're actually helping people, it's 100 times more on the other side. So all that peace and quiet you had for 20 years, I get to have for a very long time, maybe forever, right? I think forever. Lots of rewards there, right? So I'm a little bit uncomfortable in this life. Not really. I just am giving up some privacy and money, things like that, which you can't take with you. A lot of the stuff I'm missing on, you can't take with you. What I do take with me is going to be pretty glorious. Now, that said, I wouldn't want to be in some of the people's shoes when it comes time to stand in front of Jesus after what I went through. I'm not naming names because Jesus knows everything. When it comes time to, when they judge your deeds on earth, not if you're going to hell or not, I'm talking about your deeds. There's rewards in heaven for your deeds. When that time comes, some people aren't going to get very much. Excuse me. And they might have had everything on this side, right? They might have had beautiful home and peace and quiet and money to do things and all that. But then when they get on the other side, they'll be like, what did you do with that? You just didn't do anything with it? Didn't help anyone? You know? Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. What does your heart tell you? That's what Jesus is going to judge. So you want to listen to your heart in all things. Listen to your heart. Man, I almost went the wrong way. Let's see here. Almost messed up. Let me check. I'm almost here. Hey, Knight Rider. What's up, man? I love you guys. You know that, right? So, yeah, so maybe on Christmas, maybe the day of Christmas, we might hear that the banksters, the ones that actually control the world, have lost everything. And that would be a pretty glorious Christmas. And then Trump's been attacking the freaking IRS, right? Talking about giving everybody money, and then gave some to the military. I couldn't believe it, man. I was listening to these politicians and people screaming about Trump giving our military some money. $1,776, right? That, I tell you, man, our military deserves more than that, and they probably will get more than that. These dudes, man, they're freaking jerks. All right, so I need to go through this hole and put a little more in it. I tell you, I've been tripping on that. Oh my, this ain't gonna do it. I need to put a hole. Let's see right here. Yeah, there we go. See my blade? It's a sharp one. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. That's called a sewing awl. A lot of my holes, that's how I make the hole. I mark where the hole goes, and then I punch out with these by hand, one by one. Does that make things more valuable? I have no idea. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do a double stitch up here too. So I'm gonna come back one, what I call a back stitch. I'm just gonna do one because there's not a lot of stress on this. This is mostly for decoration, but it also has a job, and that job is this is lined. Okay, this is the outside, and then on the inside I glued another piece of leather in there. Let's see if I can do this without piercing my thread. Yeah. So what do you guys think about all this? I know a lot of people are disheartened, a lot, but oh man, that's tough. Let me get my yeah, there it is. All right, let me cut this one off. Cut it off, leaving about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little more. Get my lighter. Merry Christmas, Frank. God bless you. And you guys, if you have to go, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll try to come back again, but it's pretty rough. My wife has been having trouble. Pray for my wife. She She has a pinched nerve in her, a couple of them really, right at the base of her skull, and it's causing her to not even be able to hardly open her eyes, and it kind of sucks. So pray for her, okay? And I thank you in advance because God answers prayers. All right, let's do the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just a little more. There we go. Yeah, it's been really rough, man, on the health front. I have a tumor. I have a tumor in my left sinus, top left sinus, and they were talking about taking it out, but having surgery. But he told me usually how they do it is they go up through the nose and somehow extract it from there, which sounds really fun, right? But that's not what they told. When they came back with all the scans and everything, this tumor is right next to my eye, just like a millimeter or something like that. And then right next to my brain, like a millimeter. It's giving me these blinding headaches. But so they told me they can't go through the nose. So what they're gonna do, or what they're talking about, they really don't want to do it because they're afraid they're going to hit the eye or the brain and damage it beyond repair. Oh, I already cut it out, huh? Yeah, okay. So they're talking about cutting me from ear to ear above my eye, you know, like around. And then opening the skull and getting it like that, which sounds scary as hell, you know. And I need to open that a little bit, burn the wax off it. There we go. See if I can do this. Yeah, so that's what they're talking about, and man, I tell you, there's something else I heard about a long time ago. I don't know how it's going to roll out, but I know it's coming. It's called med beds. Repair your DNA and all this stuff. That's what I heard. I didn't believe it for a long time. And well, now I'm hearing about it, right? And I'm hearing the first of this year it's all going to roll out. Mail. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, they did a heart valve replacement on my mom. See, that's what I mean, like busy. They 86 years old, and they did a heart valve replacement on her, and she was kind of scared, you know, pretty scared, but it all turned out really good for her. Man, I got that one kind of close to the corner. Oh well. Let's see. It came out. Oh, I went the wrong way. Let me back that out. That's what's cool about hand sewing. I could actually take it out. I want to start one back and then go forward and then go back again, like a reverse stitch, putting 2 stitches on the end. All right, now this one through here. But yeah, and there for a little while she wasn't really happy, you know. She was like, she didn't want none of this, you know. She didn't want none of that. And the doctor told her she'll feel 100 times better. It seems her heart was only working like 28%. And they did the surgery. She was in the hospital a couple of days, and then she was home. And it took her a couple of weeks. It was better. They didn't have to crack her chest. They actually went through her neck and her side and got that and changed the valve. And then it at first it didn't seem like the electrical part was working, and they were kind of worried about it. That's why they kept her in there. And then all of a sudden it started working. She got a clean bill of health. Everybody's wondering, you know, like, is she going to be okay and all that? All of a sudden now she's out and about doing her plants, more active than she was pre-heart valve. She's feeling pretty darn good, and that's really good news. But it was not fun there for a little while. How's everybody else been doing? Busy at Christmas? Have you noticed, like, people are being stupid? This is the stupidest I've ever seen anybody ever. Drivers, man, like, there's hit and runs and there's accidents everywhere. Rollovers, like right by my house the other night, a rollover. There's a baby in the car. Lady got out screaming, my baby, my baby. She was pregnant too, and her car got hit, T-boned, and then it rolled the car over. Everybody got out but the baby that was in this car seat. They got the baby out. It was fine, but I watched a guy get hit by a car. It was a homeless guy just down the street. It was Christmas rush. Everybody was driving crazy. The only thing that saved that guy was actually an older couple, and the lady was driving really slow, pissing people off. But the dude walked out in front of her and she hit him, freaked her out. I don't know if she'll ever drive again. That freaked her out so bad. She was like 88 or something like that. Totally wigged her out. Her husband was the passenger. He was all tripping too. I think she went into shock. She didn't look good. Turns out the guy was all right. He said his back hurt, and that's all, because she was going so slow. If it would have been me, he would have been toast. They would have had to, like, I'm kind of weird about stuff like that. If you're gonna do something like that, make sure you kill them. Like, you know, launch that sucker, because if they get up and they can testify against you, you're going to go to jail, even if it was their fault. Especially in California, always spell it with a K. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a trip, man. Been a trip. But I've been witnessing this stupid stuff for a couple of weeks now. It's been crazy. But not a lot of crime. That's the weird part, is there isn't a whole lot of crime. I can't wait until ICE makes it to California, to tell you the truth. I have been hearing, though, from people I know that some of them are self-deporting already out of here. They already can see the writing on the wall and that they're about out of here. I think there's going to be an attempt on DJT's life. That's what I think. Yeah, I know everybody say he's insulated and all that. Maybe they'll shoot one of his 8 clones or whatever he's got going. Because you ever notice, like, sometimes you see him and he's all bright-eyed and has a different look. And then the next time you see him, his eyes are all squinty looking, and he just isn't the same guy, right? Well, guess what? He's not. It's a clone. And yes, they do have clones, and yes, we are going to hear about it someday. Yeah, this is a pretty nice, I'll show you guys here in a second, since I finish this run. My idea is I'm going to make something really cool, like something like this, but I think I'm going to make instead of the big 14-inch legal pad or whatever it is, 11-inch, I'm going to make the smaller one, the 8.5-inch tall legal pad. It doesn't use as much leather. It don't have to sew, probably the same amount of sewing, but not as long a distance. So I use less thread and less leather, but still really cool. It'll be this, but for the smaller legal pad. And I'm going to put it together, and you guys can follow along or not. And then when I get done, we'll give it away. Give it to you guys. Give it to somebody, some lucky person. I'm never going to write that I'm giving anything away, though, on my channel, because I'm not in it to get more viewers. I want to give it to the ones that are currently here. If I write I'm going to give something away, I'll have all these new people that they might wind up getting it, and the people I really want to give something to won't get it. And I know how that works because I used to give away stuff at the casino, and there'd be people in there playing every day, and they'd have 600 tickets say I'm giving away a Corvette or whatever. And these people, I think the one that everybody really played for was it was a Chevy pickup truck, 3/4 ton Z71 with a boat, a bass boat, and all the fishing gear, tackle, everything. And I gave that away. Man, people were playing for that for about 3 months. And there was people that had thousands of tickets in there. They were gambling away and putting their money in there. And then when it came time to give away, the guy that won only was there that day, came with his friend that had a lot of tickets in there, and he put 2 tickets in, and that's it. And then he winds up winning the whole thing. Everybody was ticked off, but it was fair. I mean, I had the cameras going. I didn't pull the ticket out. I had pulled somebody out of the crowd, and it was in a rotating clear plastic drum full of tickets, and people put it in there. And then, I had some guy standing there turning the drum for 20 minutes, and then he would stop and take his hand and, move them all around. I mean, it was totally mixed up and fair, but that's how it goes, right? The person that wasn't really interested came along with their friend, and then they wind up winning the grand prize, just like that. And I find it funny, but a lot of people don't find it very funny, but I do. Yeah, so this stitch going across here, if you notice, the leather's kind of a little bit floppy. The stitch, it fixes it up. Let's see, yeah, I'm gonna pull it this way. Man, I gotta keep going. I can't stop. I forget where I'm at. But yeah, I'm still gonna do that, but it'll be after the first of the year for sure. So I had a dream. I had another dream. I'll tell you about it. Man, a lot of traffic on my street today. So I had this dream, and I was working for this guy. And I wasn't working. I was helping him do something, and I was doing it for free. And I don't know what that is. When the dream started, I had just finished, and he was trying to offer me money, and I was telling him no money, because I didn't do it for money. I did it because I want to, not because I need money or wanted money. Well, we're kind of doing that, and he's like, I'll get you some money, and I'm like, no, and we're sitting on a bench, and there was another bench straight in front of us, about 2 feet 3 feet. And here comes Donald Trump. Comes walking up, like a navy blue trench coat, big red tie, all dressed up, snazzy looking, you know. And I didn't know this guy knew Trump. And he sits down right in front of that guy and they start talking. And I'm just sitting there tripping out like, that's Donald Trump. Like right there. I mean, I don't get starstruck, okay? But it still is a trip, you know, like I would have never thought Trump was going to walk up and start talking to this guy. That kind of was a shocker. And all of a sudden the guy tells Trump, hey, you need to give this guy some money. You know, and I'm like, no, you know. And Trump's like, he needs some money? And the guy's like, yeah, we need to give him some money. And they didn't say what I did. He just said, give him some money. And Trump reaches into his trench coat, pulls out a checkbook. He writes on it and then rips it out and hands it to me. And I look down at it and it's $69,500 on this. And I was about to say, oh no. And I woke up. I was like, what? I didn't want to wake up that time because I was getting pretty excited in my dream. But I woke up and was like, man, what? $69,500. And then my wife, I didn't tell her about the dream. And then my wife, when I did tell her, she's like, oh, she goes, I had a dream. She got a check in the mail for $3,500, just only a couple of nights before my dream. It was like, wow. We were talking about it, and then my sister comes in, and we were talking about that. She goes, you had a dream of Trump? Like, yeah. She goes, I had a dream of Trump, and he gave me a gold credit card, like a debit card or a credit card, and he told me that spend as much as you want, you'll never run out. Not only will you not run out, your kids won't run out, and your grandkids won't run out on this. And then she woke up. It was like, what? So in a week, 3 of us had dreams. 2 of us had a Trump in it, and all of it had money in it. And talk about tripping out on that. Like, whoa, okay, that's kind of neat. Let's see, I want that to be on this side. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I've been feeling like, because one of the things I was told a long time ago, besides med beds and silver going up to, I heard silver going up to like $3,000 an ounce, getting in line with gold. And it had something to do with technology. I think AI. Silver is like a really good conductor. And all precious metals really are going to go up. But I heard silver is going to really rack it up. And I can't wait for that. But one of the other things that I was told was this thing called Nasara Gassara. And I'm thinking that is gonna happen here. Dang, I need to make a couple of more holes. Like right there. I hope I could do this. Yeah, so Nasara Gassara, from what I was told, all the taxes that you ever paid in your life, you will get back. Let me see if I can poke this hole in here without cutting my threads. And there was another thing, and it was about all right, I don't think I cut my thread. Cool. Something about your birth certificate. Like, they've been buying and selling our birth certificate forever, and That kind of trips me out. So I closed it right here. I don't know if I want to go. Should I? It needs another hole right there, though. I think I'm just gonna let it. I'm just gonna go back one. This is for a grandkid, so they're not gonna care about stitching, as long as it doesn't fall apart, right? I don't want to pierce a thread. Let's see if I can do this without piercing a thread. There we go. Cool. I didn't pierce a thread. But yeah, so I'm kind of tripping, I had a hard time with the Nassar Gassara thing, just like the med bed thing, you know, and actually the silver thing for a long time. But the guy that told me all this stuff over the years, he was pretty sharp about stuff like that, and a lot of the things he told me started happening. They would happen, like a lot of it was about the Epstein Island stuff. And when that came out, just before Trump, or just after Trump went in office the first time, a lot of that stuff came out. And there was pictures and all that. And that blew me away, because we all knew, like I knew Disneyland sucks right there. It's like a shopping place for pedos, and the pizza thing, and there is some weird stuff though. Took my great grandson to the hospital, Valley Children's Hospital, and it was on Halloween, and they had 5 panda bears. And if anybody knows anything about panda bears, that's actually the pedo thing, the panda eyes. And I tripped out. Like, here's these 4 panda bears leading the parade inside the children's hospital, passing out candy to everybody. And I thought, man, somebody's in the know here, because panda bears, really? And then when I came home, the Kung Fu Panda was on, and it was Jack Black, and we all know he's not good, right? I mean, I know him. I know Kyle Gass better. Like, I've hung out with Kyle Gass quite a few times. Okay, let me turn this over. Yeah, so let's see what I can see here. I got my stitching a little bit crooked. And this right here is goat skin. And I got my maker's mark. I need to actually come up with a maker's mark, right? A real one. Let's see, I'm going to do it this way this time. There we go. All right. So I'm going to do the top, and then I'll do that side right there. So 1, 2, 4. I don't think I need all that much. I'm just going to do 5 on this one. 5. There we go. Yeah, so, hey, Merry Christmas, Thelma Lewis. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. I know I'm going to. I know I am. I got my wife to a specialist, and he gave her some shots in her neck. One side worked, the other side didn't so much, but at least she's half out of pain. And my mom is healthy and getting around. I'm helping her set up a worm farm in and a compost bin. She's all into it. It's good to see that, see her, because I was worried about that, like she's going to lose her will to live like my dad did, and he just let himself die. But my mom's not like that. She's a fighter, and it's good to see her, fighting. So that means I'm going to have a really good Christmas, and if everything plays out how I think it's going to play out, I might have my inside room back where I can actually do this inside the house. Okay, let me see. I'm going to start down here. So this is the outside. And my back is hurting from the way I'm standing. Okay. Down through this hole. Uh-oh. It's tight. Oh, yeah. Gotta love that. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have a really good Christmas. My mom's doing better. My wife's doing better. Everybody's doing better. I mean, not all the way 100%, but it's looking pretty good. And then if the first of the year plays out how I'm thinking it's going to, it should be pretty fun. Oh, let's see if I can get that in there. And there's a lot of traffic. Garbage man running around. There we go. Okay, back up the other side. Yeah, see, I'm doing this one different. You can see this slot right here. That's where I'm going to put the legal pad. I'm going to slide it in. And so I was putting a piece of leather across here and then just sliding it through the piece of leather, but I thought it would be kind of cool if I didn't have that piece of leather and then that little lump that the leather made under there wouldn't be there, even though I don't think the lump matters. I just thought I would try something different, and I kind of messed up the cut a little, but it's going to be behind that, and I get too distracted around here. So much going on that people come up talking to me, and instead of stopping, I continue, and then that's when I make a mistake. I'm not going to do any cutting while I'm talking on this live, because I'll make mistakes really bad. You have to really concentrate, go slow. You're making cuts in leather, especially when leather costs about $275 for a half a cow. Get about 4 of these, 4 or 5, and a couple of belts out of a side. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm kind of, once I get done all the way, I can do this edges, clean them all up and shine them up. They call it burnishing the edges, but I wanted to get the stitching done. That's the hardest thing for me, is stitching. It's kind of going quicker with you guys here, keeping my mind busy. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the DOJ does with this DC gun thing, because I know California, it's it's kind of like Washington, D.C. They don't like guns here. If my wife could move, I would be in Idaho right now because it's absolutely 2A state. Actually, all rights, not just 2A. They're America. California is, I would trip out, So the president gives all the illegal or the military $1,776, but then all the people that support illegals, they're like, don't, what, you give them, they don't deserve that money. But oh yeah, go ahead and give all the illegals money and EBT, right? They're not even citizens. And that it's like, go ahead and give them an open carte blanche, free housing, free money, free food stamps, whatever. But don't you dare give anything to our military. I just started cracking up when they started saying that. It was like, you guys really suck, really. Like, deport these guys too, right? If we're gonna be like Britain, then let's get rid of the ones that are non-American. Let's give everything to them, take our taxes and feed them. And they're the ones, like, if they were gone, prices would go down. There would be more rentals. There would be more jobs. How many, like, there's 20 million of them, they estimate. I think there's more than that, but in California, there's probably 20 million. But just think, when they're all gone, how many jobs will open up? How many rentals will open up? There'll be so many rentals that it won't be how it is now, where they can charge anything because there's not very many to go around. But once there's an abundance, they have to lower their prices, because the guy who lowers it the lowest will get the renters, and the ones that don't, nobody will rent them because they don't have to. I'm kind of looking forward to some of this stuff, and I'm hoping next year is like the start of all this. I mean, it already started, but actually seeing where it's really affecting us. I like how he said everybody's going to get a great tax return. I'm really thrilled to see what happens on that. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm really happy to see it. I hope everybody does. Here we go. Yeah, double saddle stitch right here, you guys. Anything I make, this is how it gets sewn. Anything I make. I kind of moved the camera a little bit so you guys could see. Nobody's chatting, otherwise I would be chatting with you. And here I am freaking out. I think I didn't give myself enough thread. This one. Now when I get done, my fingers are so sore. Because I make the holes not quite big enough, like small, so that the thread isn't, so you can't see daylight through the holes after the thread's in there. And then the little knot on the end it's too big for the hole, so it has to pop through. And boy, open it up a little bit here. Man. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, there was some Bigfoot stories up here in the hills. I don't know much about them. I just heard there is, and Jose Basin area. It's all burned. The forests are burned everywhere around here. It's amazing there was even a sighting at all because of how burned the forests are. That's another thing, you know. That was planned. You think that wasn't planned? They want everybody to live in the cities. They want, you know why they want everybody to have electric, right? It's because you can't go anywhere far. They want you in a 15-minute city. I heard about that a long time ago, too. I know this AI stuff, I don't trust it. Trump seems to, like he's talking about all those new ships, destroyers, and bigger and all this stuff, controlled by AI. That doesn't sound like a good idea, does it? What if it decides to take out the other ships, you know, the ships that are on your side, you know, it just malfunctions and starts taking out all these ships. What do you do then, right? Like, that doesn't sound wise to me at all. I don't like the sound of it at all. But yeah, I don't trust it. And then it's also, I think AI is the beast. Hey, Digger, what's up, ma'am? I think AI is the one that's going to cause the idol to come to life. And I think that's coming too. I don't think we have much longer. And I think that Jesus coming back for everybody. I had a dream about that a while back. And it was Jesus showing me in the dream that he actually was alive and walking the earth at the end of 4,000 years. So he was 4,000 years from Adam, and he was walking the earth, and then he was on the cross in 32 AD. And I was telling people 32 AD because that's what I was shown, and everybody's like, no, it was 31 AD. No, it was 33 AD. Well, come to find out, some guy figured it out and it was 32 AD. So now everybody's finally saying it's 32 AD. But what he showed me was he was in the tomb for 3 days. Okay? And when in 2,000 years, so the first day is 1,000 years, so you add 1,000 years to 32 AD. The second day he was in there is another 1,000 years, so you add another 1,000 years. And where does that put you? Put you in 2025. Sweet. Survive the house, huh? So that puts us in, after 2,000 years, puts us in 2025. The third day he was in the tomb, he was risen, right? He rose on the third day. So now if he was here walking the earth in 4,000 AD, hung on the cross in 32 AD, adding 2,000, it leaves 1,000 years left, right? So then he told me, subtract 7 from 2025, or no, it will put you at 2032, and then subtract 7, so 2,000 plus 32 is 2032. Subtract 7 years for the tribulation, and that puts you in 2025. And then the last final day that he was risen will be at the end of, it'll be at 2032. He will step in and he will take his kingdom back and reign on the earth for 1,000 years with no evil, with everybody here, which is interesting. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit my microphone. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you know, there was a dog man sighting too recently, up in Watts Valley. It's just like, I think it was right around Thanksgiving when I heard about that one. Wow. Man, I might have to take a break for a second here. Ah, oh, come on. Get in there. Like, get in the hole, right? I didn't say that. Thank you. Thank you, Paula. Is it Paula, right? Yep. Thank you. Survived 27 inches of snow. Holy crap. I heard there's going to be 4 to 6 feet of snow coming. I heard the fire hose is going to open up. And it's going to really hose California. I guess it hosed Washington and Oregon pretty good. Northern California. Holy cow. Let me stop for a minute. I can't believe it. I'm almost done. I only got one more row after this. Oh. Yeah, man. I've been hard at this leather stuff. Pretty hardcore. And I made quite a few things. I've been making things for the grandkids and my sons. I get each son a knife with a knife sheath. And nothing new. It was all collectible knives. And I did the same thing. I have a grandson. I got that folding hunter and made a case for it. And I'm going to send that and this. His birthday's on the 24th, so I'm running behind on his. It was the last one. And I'm going to give this to him for Christmas and the knife for his birthday. And then my wife says, you better ask his mom about that knife. And it was like, really? He's going to turn 17. I'm sure if he's a boy, he's going to like a knife. My wife's like, you better find out. And I was thinking, oh man, all right. You ask her. And I guess a couple days ago she answered back and she's like, oh, he'll love that. He's been carrying around a pocket knife, a little stupid pocket knife. And she sent a picture to her. She's like, oh my God, he'll really love that. Man, somehow I got my string messed up. I don't know what I did. I thought it was straight. Is there some place I hope I can make it. If not, I'm okay. I can still go for it. Looks like I'm not going to make it, though. Yeah, so I'm excited that he's going to get a knife. The folding hunter is a Camillus, and it's old. It's from like 1972. So I know he's going to love that. Huh. I might have to like cut this off right here. So I don't know how much further I'm going to go. Yeah, basically this is just making sure that the two plies of the leather don't part. Can't believe I messed up that bad. I guess it doesn't surprise me since I've been yapping and talking and stuff like that. I thought it felt weird when it was longer. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way to the end before this one runs out right here. It's kind of small. Oops. See how much I got left here? That's not right, huh? Yeah. I'll go as far as I can, and then I'll start a new stitch, a new thread, and then I'll just run it all the way across. Hopefully I can make it all the way. I might be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got like 1.5 inches to go. I might make it. I'm glad I gave myself some extra, huh? I have like 3 wallets to do after the first of the year. And I want to make BZ something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. And I have Mrs. BZ. I'm designing. I haven't came up with a final design, but I've been designing. She was into horses, and she got some buckles. She was sheriff on the mounted sheriffs, and she has some buckles and stuff like that over the years that she got, and she wants a buckle display. And took me a little while. I looked up a lot of them, and I wanted to see what was out there, but then I'm going to come up with my own version of it. And then I have to do a holster. I told the guy he has to bring it to me, because I gotta have the pistola to be able to customize it. Otherwise, draw it out, and because I don't have a pattern for a holster or a buckle thing or this. I design everything myself. I made it. Yay. So sometimes it might take me a week of just drawing things until I come up with something. All right, here we go. Last stitch. I'm going to back stitch one without piercing the thread. This is where it's really hard, because I'm going through. The more thread you put through these holes, the harder it gets to. Harder it gets. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have a pattern for a wallet now. I made a wallet, and I watched a few videos on how they design them, and so I made my own design. It kind of looks like everybody else's, though, just because there's not much you could do to a wallet to make it look different. And then I liked some of the things I saw, and I kept those. But the actual design is my design. Cool. There we go. Now we have 1 row left here. I'm really happy about that. All right. Yeah, so got to re-thread here. I probably should wash my hands. And I want to get the thread a different color. And my grandson was out here, and I gave him a knife for Christmas, and he broke his bed, the frame on his bed. He's in junior high, but he's as big as me, probably weighs 190 pounds. And he's in there jumping on it like he's a little kid, and he broke the part that holds the mattress. And he was out here with some of my razor blades trying to carve a sword or something, you know. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're gonna hurt yourself. So I went in and I had some cheap knives, and that, like, use this. Don't cut your finger off, you know, like a razor blade, man. One wrong move and you're gonna get stitches, you know. 4, 5, and a little more. There we go. Yeah. So now I'm standing on all these whittlings. He went to town. He was busy, and it was all over my bench. And I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, make it go on the ground. And he still didn't. When I came out, I have a bench brush, and I just brushed it all off on the ground. I'll sweep it up later because I'm throwing thread and everything. All right, let me get this pierce. This is the only time you want to pierce. Oh, not enough. A little bit more here. I'm gonna get right in the middle. There we go. One. Man, I could feel the back thing. Holy crap. That slowed me way down. This back surgery, it's almost been a year since I had the back surgery. This one didn't heal. This one didn't heal like they said. They said it would be, 5 or 6 months. It was 8 or 9 months. But it was hard to sit out here and do anything, I've been trying to be mindful in walking. I felt I lost a lot of strength in my legs from the nerve damage first, and then from not being able to really do anything for all those months. So I gotta get back walking around. I'm gonna go out with Adolf hiking. Yeah. Okay, so this side. Let's see if I can get it straight this time. Even up my needles. This time don't mess around, right? There we go. So it's been kind of a trip convalescing. That set me back like 6 months of leather work, of, time. Kind of sucked. My thread's all coiled up. I won't let that happen again. Ooh, that's tight. And then I jabbed myself with it. No, just kidding. I didn't. Oh, wait, I see somebody typing. Let me get this started and I'll go look. It says, well, it's actually it's dull. Can you see that? It's not sharp. If it was a sharp needle, then I would be worried about it. Even though after a little while, it starts to hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? Actually, what hurts the most is I'm old, so my fingers get all jacked up from pulling on it and trying to push it through the leather. That actually jacks me up more than anything. And there I did it again. Got my things. But yeah. Yeah, BZ, I was actually thinking about building one of these for you. One of these legal notepads, only the full size one. And I actually had started on one and then wound up giving it away to a grandkid. And then I started this one, and I was gonna give it to you, and then my wife's like, Thomas, my grandson named Thomas, needs a Christmas present. I'm like, what? She goes, you gave him the knife, but you can't just give him one thing for Christmas and his birthday. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So this one's going to be for him. So I'll probably start another one. It'll probably be better than the other ones, right? Because it'll be like the fourth one. I get better a little bit every time. I mean, it's pretty nice. Even if I might have crooked stitches, that doesn't keep it from doing what it's intended to do, right? It's just an aesthetic, but it's still like solid, really solid. I have one I made for me, the first one, and I made a lot of mistakes on that one, but only everybody that sees it, they can't see it. I guess that's because I know every square inch of it, right? I'm going over it with a fine, like here, stitch by stitch by stitch, right? And when I cut it, it's like inch by inch by inch as I'm cutting it. And then tooling it, I'm going over that by quarter inch by quarter inch or eighth inch by eighth inch, and tracing it out and then carving it and then stamping down the edges so that whatever I'm tooling into it is 3D looking. And that's the part I love the most about leather, is actually the tooling. It's hard. Right now, the in thing is to not have anything, and like just bare leather. I have a hard time doing that because it doesn't look right to me. It needs something, right? It can't just be like this. I have to have something. It can't be just straight leather. Otherwise, I don't feel like I put enough work into it, or my own personality or whatever into it. So, but I've made several knife sheaths and some camping shovel covers, and they didn't want, one of them wanted it natural, no dye or anything, and then the other one wanted it mahogany, same color as this, but no tooling. So all I got to do is put my little maker's mark thing on it. And the more I looked at it, the more I didn't like it. It was like, oh man, I can make a little tooling window right here and put a little design on there. They're like, no, they just wanted it natural, I guess. It's like, okay, but it killed me to do that. Even though I know it adds time to it and an opportunity to really screw up. Yeah, Oh, we gotta stop for a second here. Yeah, I have a belt that goes around my waist and supports it, and I never wear it, but I probably should be wearing it when I'm doing this. Gotta remember to stay standing straight up. Don't do this slouchy thing. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I've been, BZ, I really been loving your SHR media. All the guys, they're doing great, man. They are. All of them are stepping up, and you're kind of leading the pack, You're setting the standard, and it's fun to watch. And it's fun to watch those guys grow and actually watch KLRN grow. You guys are doing tremendous, and I think that the powers that be are holding you guys back. I still think that, but you're going to overcome them by sheer not stopping, by just going for it and not stopping. Don't look at the numbers. Don't let any of that persuade you, because they want you to quit. And don't quit. That's the only reason I keep doing videos. I know that they want me to quit. They're doing the same thing to Jeff. You know, about as high as he can get is 2,000 views. More likely, 1,200 is about where he's at. That's BS. He's getting way more views than that. And for some reason, they promote the freaking liars and stuff, and the ones that they won't tell you the truth. They tell you what's popular, Some of them can, but they don't stay there. They don't stay there. They get off track, and they let other people's opinions come in, and they cloud the topics, and it's not cool. And that kind of is annoying to me, that they get paid all this money and they're mostly entertaining, kind of. They're not really talking about what's going on. Like you guys, man, you dig in there, there's a lot of stuff you come up with I never thought about, and a lot of it I would have never thought to look for it and to research into it. And from all over the world, you guys freaking rock. From all over the world. I like how you compare what's going on in Australia and stuff like that. Like if we let them do what they're doing, we're going to wind up like Australia. If we don't watch it, we're going to wind up not America. But I think we're going to be all right. I think that we just hit that threshold that the Colonel told me about a long time ago. He told me when you see 50, that it's going to start going like crazy. And it didn't jump from 50 that fast, but I knew it was going to go up some more. And a lot of people thought it peaked, and the silver peaked. But the Colonel said when it reaches 70, the bankers are in trouble. Because they actually have been holding the price of silver down. And because they have so much money in silver that they don't really own. It's just all, paper. It's not really silver. And now the time to pay the piper, they're all at 70. That's when shit goes down. And I heard they have, after knowing what I know from the Colonel, then and you know what to look for. I found out that they have 3 days. They have 3 days from the time it hits 68 to 70. They have 3 days, and I can't remember what there's actually something that says that, and I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up and I'll share it on here in the comments or whatever you call it, the posts. I'll share that link and let you guys read it. The bankers are out of here. So if it's 3 days, here we go with the numbers again. If it's 3 days and then they lose everything, because they really can't, mathematically, they cannot do it because they don't have it. So, and all their fake stuff ain't going to work. It has to be, either they have to pay up cash or they have to produce the silver. They don't have either. They will not be able to do any of it. But I heard 3 days. So what is it? Yesterday it hit 70, or is it today hit 70? So let's see. Yeah, it was yesterday. So 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th is 3 days, right? So we're going to have a good Christmas. The bankers are going to be gone. Man, I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, I really, really, really hope so. So far, everything is playing according to plan, just not as fast as I would like. It's just been, and I understand, I understand what's going on. They have to, it has to go slow at first because we had no idea, right? So most of America had no idea how depraved, is that what you say? How evil they are. I mean, they worship Satan, so that's where they needed the babies. They needed the babies because how do you worship Satan? You have to sacrifice. That's why, like, when you look at TV stars and movie stars and rock stars, somebody dies, right? One of their firstborn or their wife or their mom, somebody, because that's how you worship Satan. That's their ritual. And I mean, America has no idea how sick and perverted this is going to get. And it's not all about just pedos. It's about freaking sick. That's what it's about. Blood. And I've told you guys, the most valuable commodity in the world is blood. Okay? And one of the highest, like, it's not the highest, but it's the second highest currency is virgin baby blood. And then below that is virgin women. And what's the highest blood, right? What is the highest blood? It's Jesus' blood. Jesus' blood is the most valuable blood in the universe. But that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. And just remember, it's all about the blood. And it's sad and it's sick that in order to be famous, rich and famous, you got to sell out to that guy, and then to keep it going, then you have to sacrifice. You all know what red shoes mean, right? I don't know if you do, but red shoes, some sick stuff, just like the panda eyes. It's sick. I've been tripping out. Like, remember they used to talk about pizza parties? They would have pizza parties in the White House, in the ballroom, the place where Trump has knocked it down and made a ballroom, or making a ballroom. That's where they had their pizza parties, and they had the best pizza parties. And all these movie stars and stuff, they love the pizza parties. They all talk about going to each other's house and having pizza parties, spending $50,000 on a pizza party. What in the world costs $50,000 for a pizza party? Can you answer that? What in the world is so valuable that it would cost $50,000 for a pizza party? It wasn't a pan pizza, I'll tell you that. It was the blood that they had to get. Their sacrifice, that's what they bought. That's what their pizza party was about. So sick and depraved. Got to get my words right. I mean, that is sickening. And we haven't even seen anything yet. Absolutely not. Can't believe I talked my way to the end of another run here. Dang, I might have to poke some holes again. I stopped. Let's see here. See if I can do it. Yep. I'm going to have to poke a hole through that one. And I hope I don't cut my thread. Let's see. Oh, this isn't the one. I need my blade. Here it is. All right. Dang, I don't know, Let's see. Holy crap. This is gonna be a trip. Okay, don't cut. Oh shit. Doesn't want to go through. There we go. Man. All right. One more. Right here. All right. Shoot. Man, I probably should lay this down. Lay this down and poke it through like this. Straight. Ow. Let's see. Did it go through? Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Wah. All right. Got it. See, now that will cut you. That one will. Okay. I want to get a different pony. I don't like this pony. Stitching pony. It's kind of flimsy, but it works. But I could use a more high dollar one, that's for sure. I didn't think I would be using it as much as I do. Either that or buy a sewing machine. But, a sewing machine sounds all good and all that, but I like the hand stitching. I really think the hand stitching is what sets it off. And then I would not trust the sewing machine stitch, because if one of these threads broke, then the whole stitch line comes out. And with one of these break, there ain't no way it's coming out because it's wrapped around in there, right? And like I'm going through, pulling tight with one string, just like this. So if one comes out, it's not going to pull these out, right? It's not going to pull thread out. Right, here we go. Last stitch. And that one's tight. I didn't pierce it. Okay, I got to do that again in that one. And then back stitch one without piercing the thread. Come on, baby. Come through. Man, it's tight. That's what she said. That's what he said, right? Ooh, that's tight, yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't talk like that. Okay, here comes my back stitch. And then I'm done. And then I got to go eat something. Holy cow, I ain't going to get through that hole. You know what? Yeah, I am. Did I go through a thread? Nope. All right, let me see here. I'm going to make a little bit of room. There we go. Okay, got to have one more. Okay, I'm going to pull that up. You guys see that? Probably not, huh? Oh, I got it through again. This is it. Oh, man. All right. Okay. Yeah, some people, they like to leave themselves just a little bit of string at the end. And I like to have some where I can pull it, and if I have a problem, I have enough that I can go more, And I don't like, what is 8 cents a foot? So really, I'm not spending that much money to give myself peace of mind. Ooh, baby. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Okay, this one's next. Burn that little end in, and then press it, and it'll never come out. That's the only place you got to worry with leather, is the ends. All right, so one last thing. I gotta pound it down, pound my stitches down, and I got something for that. Where'd it go? Is that here already? Oh yeah, there it is. I have it. All right. So right here, pound the stitches down, flatten them out. Okay, so now I got to do the edges. Got to do the edges. But first, now that it's let me take this off. Oh boy. Let's see if I can. Can you see that? Let's see if I can put this in here. So I made a slot instead of come on, get in there. It's a little bit tight, but it'll loosen up over the years. Maybe I should get a more better one. This is like a Walmart special. Oh, there it goes. I need to get this wet right here, so I don't want to bend it and mess it up. Yeah, so what do you think? It's got this right here. Yeah, for the pin. It's kind of tight. I don't know if a pin will fit in there. Let's see. I have a pin. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's pretty tight. I'm gonna have to stick something in there and open it up. I should have used a thinner leather, but I didn't have any. I'm not really concerned about that. As long as they can put paper in here and put your business cards right here. Yeah. But I actually can make this work. I have a antler. Let's see. I have an antler. Let me see here. I have an antler that Mrs. BZ got for me. If I can remember where it is. It's been a while since I used it. Let's see. I don't know what I did with it. Here it is. Well, this is a different one. This one won't work. It has to be the other one. What the heck? I don't know. Wow. Okay. I thought. Oh, well, I don't know where it is. It might be up here. Well, guys. Let's see. I just spun you around. I hope you don't get sick. Let me see here. Oh. Well, that's all she wrote. I'm all done, at least for the hard parts. And now all I do is sand the edges, take the little where you know, the corner off of the leather, cut that down, and then polish up the edges. Oh, garbage man. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I probably won't be back I'm gonna try to do something for like New Year's or New Year's Day or right after New Year's Day. Dang, he needs brakes. Wow. Comes my little buddy on his wheelchair. But yeah, so y'all. Wow, interesting. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to pray for everybody. I pray that you be blessed abundantly in every area of your life. May the Lord triple any good deeds or any amount of money you spend or give away in this season, and that the people you bless be abundantly blessed. I pray healing on every person, backs, blood, bones, be healed in Jesus' name. I pray that the Lord go ahead of you in your life. They go before you, and that you find favor everywhere you go. That you'll find the best parking spot, that everyone will be kind to you and generous, that you'll find favor in your work life and everywhere. Be abundantly blessed in every area of your life in Jesus' name. I love every single one of you. I will see you real soon. Y'all take care, okay? Wait, I need to turn this around because I can't turn it off. How's that? Yeah? I don't know how to turn it off. All right, guys. Later.